Viva my monarch! Viva my monarch! Welcome everyone to the 51st year of the return of our prophet Simão Toko from Azores, Portugal. Why, you may ask, was the prophet exiled to Azores, Portugal? The Portuguese government intended to kill Simão Toko. So on the 16th of July 1963, Simão Toko was exiled together with his wife Maria Rosa Toko, two daughters Ilda Toko and Esperanza Toko, and his nephew Sibi Toko, to Azores, Portugal. This exile was a plot to kill Simão Toko on the plane. Salazar, the Portuguese dictator, instructed his men and Catholic priests to throw Toko from the plane. Unbeknownst to them, Toko knew their intention. He prayed to Tatan Zambi to halt the airplane mid-flight. He then warned them, "If you throw me in the ocean, we all go down." They were all so afraid that one asked the Catholic priest to pray to move the plane. The Catholic priest prayed and prayed and prayed, but nothing happened. After some hours passed, Simão Toko saw that they had given up on their plan. So he prayed to Tatan Zambi again, and the plane began to move. James 5:16b. The prayer of a righteous person is very powerful in its effects. As the assassination attempt was a failure, Salazar the dictator decided just to proceed with the exile to Azores, Portugal. The attempt to kill Simão Toko through surgery. November 1973. Now exiled in Azores, Simão Toko was feeling unwell. He noticed a single pimple on his chest, so he sought medical attention. But the doctors saw another opportunity to execute their plan of assassinating Simão Toko. This time, the plan was to remove his heart, study it, research it, and leave him to dead. The surgery was barbaric, brutal, and inhumane. They removed his heart, put it in a dish, and took it into another room in order to study it. But something unexpected and quite extraordinary happened. Simão Toko demonstrated that he was no ordinary man. Defying all known universal laws, he spoke without a heart. "Where are you all taking my heart?" The doctors were stunned, shocked, amazed, confused. How can this man speak without a heart? Needless to say, they were afraid. "Who is this man?" Simão Toko continued to speak. "Put my heart back, because with this heart I will judge the world." The blood transfusion to allow Simão Toko to die on that operating table. He lost a significant amount of blood. However, 6 local white people who respected Simão Toko protested the inhumane treatment Simão Toko endured. Consequently, they decided and volunteered to donate their own blood to him. Toko later explained the spiritual significance of this surgical event when he returned back to Angola August 31st, 1974. Simão explained that through him, God, Tatan Zambi, intended to prove to the world that Simão Toko was not merely a man and that no one could take his life. This act was necessary to defeat the nations of the world. The blood transfusion of these 6 white people spiritually signified the return and the reclaiming of everything that other nations had taken and stolen from the blacks through history. All the tangible and intangible aspects, powers, blessings, freedom, everything that they had lost since the beginning of time were being restored to Adam's seed. Isolele. Yala! This was the main reason Tatani Zambi let the Portuguese authorities take Simão Gustavus Toko to Azores, Portugal. The Son of Man, knowing that God the Father had powerfully intervened despite having suffered the blow of the devil, Satan, who used men to harm him, yet you see him here present with a smile of forgiveness. Could a normal man do this? The devil, Satan, always tried to kill the Son of Man. It happened with Jesus Christ, and in our day also with Simão Toko. Maya Mona. John 19:34. However, one of the soldiers pierced his side with a spear, and immediately blood and water came out. Simão Toko, they removed his heart, not to cure it, but to test it, study it and research it. A rather violent operation, evil and deadly intention, but God was always in control. After this last attempt, Simão Toko announced via letters he wrote from Portugal that there would be no more attempts at killing him. The 11 years Toko spent in Portugal were a time of political and spiritual war against his oppressors and their nations. When Toko prevailed over his oppressors in 1973, he inspired and ignited spiritual and political liberation from Angola and other Portuguese colonies in Africa. Toko returned to Angola in 1974, and Angola gained their independence the 11th of November 1975. The mysterious return from Lisbon to Lobito. Simão Toko was returning back to Angola by ship. When the ship was leaving the territorial waters of the North Atlantic Ocean, heading to Africa, God told Simão Toko, Simão, the ship will go first to south, which is Lobito, and then the north, which is Luanda. Toko transmitted this order to the ship's captain, and he did not accept it, because according to him, he was not following orders from anyone else. So the journey continued on, but to everyone's astonishment, the ship arrived in Lobito, the territorial waters, and the radio at the port announced the docking of a large ship. As a result, the captain of that same ship took off his epaulets and he handed them to Simão Toko, because he said that such a thing had never occurred in his entire career as a captain. So Simão Toko received the rank, thanked the captain, and put the epaulets in his pocket. Upon leaving the ship, Simão Toko steadied his steps, putting his right foot on the ground and saying, "Finally, the black man has won." The ship remained docked in the port of Lobito on Toko's account for 3 days, from the 29th to the 31st of August 1974. On Simão Toko's disembarkment from the commercial port of Lobito, this was a triumphant event. He was received with incredible joy by the faithful ones in the local churches of Lobito, Katumbela, Benguela, and Bayavata. On his return back to the ship, he attempted to give back the epaulets to the captain, but the captain wouldn't accept Simão Toko, through the body of Bishop Afonso Nunes, said on January 7, 2018, "The material world cannot override the spiritual world. Once again, it happens, proving that all power and authority has been given back to Maya Mona. Viva Maya Mona! Viva Maya Mona!"